To win a free copy of Resident Evil 4, watch this video until the end to learn how. Some major videos leaked from recent firmware showing off exactly what the next Oculus headset will look like. The headset itself is very similar to the prototype that was shown off by Andrew Bosworth in response to the Vive Flow release. At the time, Boz kept emphasizing that it was just a prototype, guys, but based on these leaks, it's probably the next headset that will be announced this Thursday. The video also shows the same controllers that were leaked before, but in a black color to match the black headset. Also, the controllers appear to have a docking station for charging them, which is a very nice addition. Charging stations make keeping the battery charged so much easier and can make your setup look really nice and clean. And by the way, you can get this sick docking station for the Oculus Quest 2 if you want to keep your controllers always charged. I just got it sent to me from a company through review, and I just gotta say this thing is sleek. It looks nice, I love the light up colors, and I love how easy it is to keep the controllers charged with the included rechargeable batteries. It also comes with a magnetic charging cord for the headset itself to make sure that the charging a headset is super convenient. It doesn't work with my bulky Franken-Quest setup because it'll just fall off, but it works with the stock strap really well, and you can check it out in the link in the description below. Going back to the leaks, most of the videos seem to be emphasizing the business and productivity uses of the headset, not really showing anything new beyond the headset itself and the controllers. So people are speculating that this headset really is going to be marketed towards businesses, which is kind of disappointing. Another video though shows off some people playing Beat Saber, then clicking a button to invite someone into their world, and then them swiping themselves into a different world. This all seems to be a demonstration of what Zuckerberg imagines the metaverse will look like one day. It also refutes the claim that this headset will be only a business headset. I think it'll be marketed towards both just based off of this video. The most interesting video, however, is a girl changing her outfit in a mirror, with the mirror following what the girl seems to be doing in real life, you know, tracking her body. Now this looks to be like just some cool marketing that they did, but based on a patent that was recently filed, some people are assuming that this is a demonstration of full body tracking that uses a mirror to track your body. Now this would make sense because without external cameras, the headset would have no way of tracking your body unless you were looking down your body the whole time. Some people theorize that maybe the cameras on the controllers will be able to do that. They'll help with the body tracking. But altogether, a mirror would help you to be able to do full body tracking because you'd be able to look forward and not have to look down, and it would still track everything. That said, this would still require everyone to have a large mirror, and you would have to face forward the entire time. You wouldn't be able to turn around, and even just turning your head side to side, that could theoretically ruin the body tracking. So based on that, and based what I read in the patent itself, I'm actually of the opinion that this is not full body tracking. I read the patent and it isn't talking about full body tracking. Instead, it mentions using a mirror to overlay virtual objects onto a physical real mirror and the reflections in the mirror. So in other words, it just sounds like a really cool AR party trick that lets you try out different outfits and hairstyles on your actual real body. This figure of the patent clearly demonstrates this process. So it says determine a map of the physical environment, or in other words, you know, track the real world. Next, are physical objects reflected in the mirror? If yes, then generate artificial reality content for reflected objects, or in other words, generate the clothes or accessories for whatever's being reflected in the mirror, your body. Then finally present artificial reality content overlaid on the reflection. So through the headset, you would see your own actual real life reflection with AR objects on top of it. This is clearly talking about AR, and it's not full body tracking. Of course, I could be wrong, so we just have to wait until Thursday to see, but just based on the patent and the video, this is really what I think it is. Now, in case you live under a rock, Varjo, the VR company with the most difficult name to know how to pronounce, just released the Varjo Aero, redefining what it means to be a prosumer. This headset is a consumer headset if you have, you know, about $2,000 lying around. I'm not going to go in depth about the headset because several other people have done that extensively, including Thrillseeker, who actually has one in hand. All I'm going to say is that this headset was highly touted as the big, no compromise VR headset. It has everything you could ever want except a built-in mic. Yeah, it doesn't have a mic. It will ship with a mic in the box, but you'll still have to attach the mic, and attaching the mic every time you want to use it that just creates more friction every time I want to use the headset. It also doesn't come with audio, by the way, like speakers or anything. You have to use your own headphones, which could be nice if you want to have your own headphones that you like, but it's also really annoying because, again, having to pick up headphones and put them on, and you know, a mic and everything, that's all just extra work. The other compromise besides the massive price tag is that it only works with NVIDIA GPUs. So the headset overall is a massive step forward for VR with its amazing displays and other cool features, but I find it funny how it lacks the most basic features that we've come to expect in a VR headset. I don't know, 5 steps forward, 1 step back, I guess. Resident Evil 4 released exclusively for the Quest 2, but some hackers have found a way to make it work on the original Oculus Quest 1. This method does not use any piracy at all, by the way, which I do not support support at all. Instead, you just buy the game and then you use a Chrome extension to download the APK to then sideload it onto your Quest 1. People have reported getting stable 72 frames per second on their Quest 1, which makes you wonder, why didn't Oculus just release it for both platforms in the first place if it's running just fine on the Oculus Quest? It couldn't possibly be a malicious attempt to sell more Quest 2s now, could it? In regards to the game itself, I've been loving it. I've had zero problems with the game. Now, is it a major step forward for VR? I'm gonna say yes and no. Yes, because everyone in the gaming industry is talking about VR now because of the game. I know several people who are now trying out VR just to play this game, but I also say no because the game itself has pretty lackluster VR mechanics. I mean, for what it is, a port of an older game, it's great, but I just really hope developers don't see Resident Evil 4 as a reason to get lazy with their game development, because they think, well, Resident Evil 4 got away with these mechanics, so maybe we can get away with it. This is especially true if we start seeing a lot of older games ported to VR. If this happens, we could start seeing a lot of the mechanics in Resident Evil 4 and other game ports become standards for VR, just because if the only popular VR games are ports of older games, that's what everyone's going to copy. If you don't know what mechanics I'm referring to, I'm specifically talking about how the screen cuts to a theater view for the cutscenes, or when it cuts to a third-person view anytime you kick someone, knock down a ladder, or jump through things. Again, I get why they did it for this specific game. I just hope VR devs realize how much it just sucks to have that in a VR game. I'd like to think most VR devs are smart enough to realize that, but seeing how many VR hardware companies get the hardware wrong, you never know. Also, don't forget to stay till the end to figure out how to win Resident Evil 4. I'm finally finishing Lone Echo 2, and I gotta disagree with a lot of people. Everyone's saying that the game is just more of Lone Echo 1, just more of the same thing. And honestly, I felt that way at first, but as you get more into the game, it takes everything you loved from Lone Echo 1 and makes it bigger and even better. It is an amazing sequel and will go down as one of my all-time favorite VR games, above the original. If you have PC VR and you haven't given this series a shot, honestly, what are you doing with your life? Go play Lone Echo 1 right now. Now, have you ever thought to yourself, we need another rhythm VR game? Well, too bad. Unplugged just released, and it is attempting to be Guitar Hero in VR, but with hand tracking. It's pretty sick, but I do have a few complaints. Now, I don't want to brag or seem pretentious, but you may have heard me mention that I'm actually a professional guitarist. And again, I don't want to brag, but I'm a really good guitarist. Like, I'm on the level of Jimi Hendrix, and while I thoroughly enjoyed playing this game, it has one major flaw that ruins the whole experience for me. And of course, I'm talking about how the game makes you hold a guitar pick. That's right, they make you hold it with the very tips of your fingers, which is absolutely the wrong way to be holding a guitar pick. Not only will it probably fly out of your hands if you actually try to rock harder than Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but it could actually end up hurting your wrist in the long run to hold a guitar pick like that. I'm not joking, that could actually end up giving you carpal tunnel if you played guitar like that for years and years. Beyond that, the game is actually really fun and worth trying just for the novelty of finger tracking. I wish there was some more immediate feedback telling me I'm hitting the notes, something in the audio maybe, because it just feels like sometimes that I'm just listening to the songs and waving my hands around in the air. But that could just be because I'm used to actually performing real songs on a real guitar in front of hundreds of people, so you know. Also, the cheers from the crowd would often cut out abruptly when I was playing, which seems really weird because, you know, in real life you could like cheers just fade out when you suck. Like in real life, if you make a mistake, it's not like the whole audience just stops cheering all at once like they're all synced up. But outside of those very nitpicky criticisms, I honestly do really recommend you try Unplugged out now on the Quest. It's a super fun experience. Arcade is releasing tomorrow for Quest and PC VR. It is a retro gaming experience that basically takes you inside an actual arcade machine to see if you could survive an 8-bit world. It felt extremely nostalgic for me, and I'm too young to have played these old 8-bit games, but that's how good it is. It still made me feel that nostalgia. It's a fun experience that was genuinely challenging, but the challenge also could have been because of my insane stick drift I'm experiencing right now. Overall, it's a fairly simple game. You go in an arcade, you advance through levels, defeating enemies and bosses, and I had a blast with it. If you want a great arcade shooter that does more than just put you on a rail, this is it. This is for you. I highly recommend it. Blade and Sorcery just launched a major update, adding dungeons to the game. Before now, you could only do arena battles with hordes of enemies, but now you can enter and explore dungeons to take down enemies with stealth or with straight up mayhem. Future updates plan to allow a progression mode, add more interactive environments, and even include a loot system, making the game closer and closer to the perfect VR RPG. Just slap on a storyline and you probably have the best VR game to date. I mean, come on guys, it's not that hard to make the greatest VR game of all time. Just add 14 square miles of map to explore, at least 237 7 quests, 2,201 NPCs, 2,400 creatures, and an interesting story arc, and you have the best VR RPG ever. Well, besides Skyrim. And if you want another amazing RPG game in VR, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time just got a mod that lets you play it in VR. Created by Brian MP16, the mod runs in a Dolphin VR emulator and lets you view the world in full VR. You still play with the controllers, which aren't motion tracked, but it is still really cool that you get to see that world from Link's perspective. Demio, one of my favorite games from this year, just announced a save feature and a new map that will be coming soon. The save feature lets you save the game at the shop between levels, and the host is the only person that gets to save the game, but they can resume it with the same or different people. The new map they teased is also going to be a forest map, but beyond that, we don't know much more about it. Once we get this forest map, I think I'll feel like I got my $30 worth from the game, so that map can't come soon enough. Virtual Desktop just added a new sharpening feature to compete with Airlink's own sharpening feature that was added not too long ago. This sharpening feature helps to reduce the effects of compression involved in the wireless transfer of video. In theory, you should now be able to use Virtual Desktop with a lower bitrate, which will give you less latency, but still have it look pretty good because of the increased sharpening. All I can say is it's nice to see someone giving Facebook a taste of their own medicine by stealing their ideas. One last thing, apparently Beat Saber just added a free new track called Spooky Beat, which even comes with a new spooky environment for Halloween, which is pretty cool and really random. Go check it out. Now, if you want to win a copy of Resident Evil 4, you guessed it, just like this video, subscribe, and then comment down below telling me what game you want ported over to VR next. What would be the coolest game to play in VR? Let me know, and I'll be picking a winner from my subscribers that comment below within the next 72 hours after this video posts. So go on and start commenting and typing stuff, and don't be a troll, because trolls are smelly and weird, but also somewhat funny. So maybe go ahead and be a troll. It might be more fun than your actual self, because at least trolls are funny. But then again, trolls are actually usually the bad guys, so you know, if you're supposed to kill trolls. So if you become a troll, I might just have to slay you, right? Like, that's how the internet works. I don't know. But if you're still here listening to me rant, don't you have better things to do with your life, like trolling YouTube comment sections? Go on, get out of here.